Thank you. Yes, sir. My I'm not really too familiar with it, but I'm pretty sure if you take on the main responsibility as the event manager, you're to make sure that everyone is staying in their positions. You're making sure that all the packages are secured properly with the right amount of soldiers. You're keeping track of all the packages that are going out, trying to keep as many in as possible, and you're make sure that you're communicating through the radio through the material theft, making sure you're communicating with everyone, you know what's going on at all times when we're going through those. I want to join the interview team because I've joined every other unit. I didn't know it was a requirement to rank up, but also I like being in charge. I hope that one day, you know what I'm saying, I can rank up to a higher rank, even a general like you. And I feel like my leadership would be really good within the event team. And possibly if I come up with new ideas, I can help improve the event team. Not saying that it's bad, but like saying maybe we can come up with some new ideas, brainstorm, make it a little bit better. I feel like the job of leader event, in my opinion, is during these material thefts or whatever the event is. We go in there, we make sure that we have a game plan of how we need to execute it, and we execute it properly. We make sure we're communicating with our team. I feel like it's important to always have a game plan. Say if it's material theft, you have the right amount of people stationed around each package. Make sure everyone's communicating through the radio and everyone's holding their post, but you're also making sure yourself that you're having your team's back so that they don't need help and that everything is cope and steady. It happens sometimes. Even sometimes we be outnumbered. And you know what I'm saying? The way I see it, I'm a team player. You can't win them all. You know what I'm saying? And it's not saying like, oh, we're gonna go in there and give up. You remain calm, you utilize your radio, you do what you need to do best, you work with your team. If your team needs backup, you if you need backup, you make sure you communicate that to the right people. And like I said, that's how at the end you win. And like I said, not all of them are going to be winners. Some of them, sometimes you might just have to take the L, and that's completely fine. But as long as you tried your best and you did everything to the best of your ability, that's all that really matters. I'm really, really big on body cam. I was ex chief of PD, so like my body cam is always on. I'm always making tickets. I like your body cam should be on regardless of anything. And if I see anybody, not just a gang member, if even if it's fellow soldiers, you have to hold them accountable as well. Let them know like that's not allowed. You're breaking rules. And even though in game technically we're not allowed to say, hey, I'm free camming you, or hey, I'm recording you, I'm gonna make, because that's a failed RP. But like me myself, I know, okay, my body cam's rolling and somebody know this person is failing to role play correctly. I think it's best. Of course, we do our lineups at the beginning. We have everyone stationed to certain positions. We make sure, hey, you stand here, you guard this. And I feel like to make it more efficient, we go in there and we have a few people maybe like run around and like kind of patrol in a way, but not really make sure everyone's staying where they need to stay. Make sure, I feel like when we set people up, if we have people stationed at mid pack or AP pack, we also have a general or someone who's a part of the event team stand there to supervise. That way, if someone is not doing as they're supposed to or they're leaving their position, they can easily a higher up can step in and say, hey, you can't do that, I need you here, you need to do this. It's really all about communication. You have to make sure that you're communicating. If someone's like, hey, I can't really shoot that good, you got me standing in mid pack gets attacked really, really badly, can you move me? Then the event manager can say, okay, I understand you're not really good with your shooting skills, I can move you to where it may be RT if it works better for you. I feel like communication is very, very important, both to soldiers and to the people in charge. I feel like we should go back to of RT. I feel like that is very, very important. The callouts. I know a lot of people aren't really familiar with that because so I know this we don't really anymore, but I feel like training our new recruits coming in to do call outs is very, very important. I know we give them base guide tours and whatnot, but I feel like if we just throw them on top of RT every time for call outs, that's the best idea. I noticed also that we have people that are like the lower new recruits, they always get stationed in mid pack, and I noticed some of them don't have long guns, and I noticed that even the ones that do, sometimes we tell them, hey, don't use your long gun, use your taser. I feel like if they have a gun and they know how to use it, we should let them utilize that. And of course, if they mess up, then we take accountability, be like, okay, we'll train you or whatever. But I feel like we need to utilize the new recruits coming in. If they have guns and they can use them, we use them. We need to utilize the top of RT as well, and we also need to utilize stationing major generals. I know like typically they run to like backup calls and whatnot here and there, but I feel like we should use some of the higher ranking hard hats to call for to respond to backup calls. That way that we have the MGs stationed around these new recruits and these lower ranking officers, making sure that they're doing the right thing. Also, you know what I'm saying, training these hard hats to step into an MG role if they eventually make it to that role. I feel like that would be really, really good for the material theft event. And then, of course, training everyone to use radio. I feel like we do these radio things. I feel like a good training that we should implement, and this probably isn't for you, it's probably for like the training team, we should train these material thefts. Like we should run a fake material theft, pretend like it's a material theft, have people set up, and then get a few soldiers who are going to pose as quote unquote gang members, and we just run it so that we can let people know what they're doing wrong, how to utilize radio, and how to go from there. I feel like that would really, really improve our skills when it comes to training. No, you're not allowed to eat at all Tori material theft. If you do, that calls for abuse 1 or abuse 5, I think, one of those, and it's a 12-hour ban. You can only eat once you have died and you are at HP parking lot. If you leave the parking lot, you're not allowed to run back in the parking lot. You can only eat once you have died and respawned. If you're caught eating, then you could get reprimanded and or terminated. I feel like I know we have hard hats that are allowed to drive around base, but I mentioned this before. I feel like we should have people that just go on and do certain patrols. I know certain hours of the day we don't have a lot of MGs on to do like base checks, radio checks. I feel like, you know, like of course the next ranking officer online is eligible to do that, but I feel like we should have people riding around base checking the base every spot every 30 minutes or so, because we do have intruders that sneak past. We do have people that go AFK at the gates, and I feel like that would be a really, really good thing. And like I said, also utilizing training, not just tactical training for like M4s and tasers, but like radio training. Teach them how to communicate on the radio, teach them, you know what I'm saying, what they are and aren't allowed to say, because yeah, we go over rules during the interview and we try to tell them, but I feel like it goes in one ear and out the other ear if they're not constantly hearing it. So I feel like if we utilize more different trainings, not just tactical trainings, but strategic trainings for like radio and different types of things, that'd be awesome as well. I have a lot of ideas. I could talk for days, but now I'm okay. Thank you so much.